Yeah, just a horrific night in Brussels. The news broke yesterday evening, and Tomo's looking forward to the match here as Scotland put their wits against this star-studded French side. The match ball just delivered by a radio-controlled car, Stephen.
Magnificent, absolutely magnificent. The highlight of the night so far. Loved that.
Car just making its way off the pitch here. It is a rutted playing surface. It has hosted some of the Rugby World Cup games here. The French national team with a rare outing in the northeast of the country, with Paris unavailable to them. And the German official just about ready to get things going. Scotland are going to go right to left as we watch in the back of the big main stand here. Long ball forward, out to the far side is pumped out. A play for a throw-in, which AC Milan's Theo Hernandez is over. His brother Lucas, one of the players to drop out of Didier Deschamps' lineup this evening, from the one that started in the Johan Cruyff Arena on Friday night. Scotland pick up in the midfield with Gilmour just nodding it to the right for Ferguson, who is chopped to the ground by Giroud, who scored 2 the last time Scotland faced France. That was in a friendly also in the northeast of the country. Fair bit away from here though. Metz back in 2016, a 3-0 victory, and Scotland have a free kick here, Tomo.
Yeah, we're absolutely battering them. This is brilliant.
It's a good start. A chance for this free kick to be flighted into the French penalty area. And France have everyone back behind to defend it as well, taking no chances. It's just about over on that far side touchline, and it is flighted in towards the penalty spot. Mike Mignon comes out, gets the punch onto it. Griezmann helps it on its way, and he breaks over onto this near side for Kenny McLean, hoists it forward into the France box, where it's cut out there by Kanate of Liverpool, when he plays it short to Griezmann, who looks to switch the play out to the far side, but it comes off the head of Ferguson. Hernandez is there, nods it down the line, looking for Mbappe, but it goes out of play for a throw-in, which Nathan Patterson takes and bowls it into the midfield for Gilmour. Picked up by Jack Hendry, who was of course the man penalised when Scott McTominay's goal went to the VAR the other night. Gilmour gets onto it now, back to Hendry. Well, the runner ahead there in Che Adams, but he plays it short to Ferguson, who's going to get it back immediately here from Hendry, out to the far side for Patterson. Now it's with Che Adams, just bouncing it back off the French midfielder Camavinga, and out for a Scotland throw-in about level with the edge of the centre circle over there on the Scottish right.
Good start from Scotland, I have to say. Lots of the ball, everybody getting a touch of the ball early, settled the nerves. Really good. And that occasion there, Patterson played the ball into Che Adams. He then went for the overlap. Che Adams played him down the line. He didn't. Try to come back inside. Patterson was away. He's ever so keen to get forward as Nathan Patterson. Looking forward to his battle tonight with Mbappe.
A great chance for him to test himself against one of the best at the moment. Scotland throwing Greg Taylor to Tate midway inside the French half on this near side. McTominay makes the run towards him and then picks it up. Good shuffle away from Griezmann. He moves it into the centre circle for Hendry, to Gilmour, then to Jack Hendry, forward towards Ferguson. Difficult one for him to control. He loses out. Hernandez forward to Mbappe, and you can hear as that's cut out there by Jack Hendry, put out for a throw, and you could hear the roar of anticipation as that ball came anywhere close to Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, you could, and it was an important intervention from Jack Hendry getting across. I spoke about his pace before the game. He is very, very quick, and he need his pace tonight, that's for sure.
It's out on this near side for the French, picked up by the Marseille right back Jonathan Klaus, who set up Mbappe for his first one in Amsterdam the other night. He finished from close range, the other was from long range outside the penalty area.
It's a bit early for the old A's, is it not, Liam?
They played, just almost 4 minutes. McKenna in a foot race with Griezmann, gets it back to his goalkeeper, who's Liam Kelly this evening, the Motherwell goalkeeper, guarding things at the back for Scotland tonight, as the sliding Benjamin Pavard gets it back to Kanate, who goes back to Mike Mignon, who took over from Hugo Lloris, retired from international duty after the World Cup finals.
Brilliant for Liam Kelly. I'm so delighted for him to get his debut tonight. I'm big pals with his brother Sean, played with him at St Mirren, and his younger brother's also in at St Mirren. He's a goalkeeper too. But you know, you wait all this time for your opportunity, you turn up to every trip, and it could be quite frustrating at times, but fantastic to see him getting his chance.
Especially when they saw Angus Gunn being parachuted into the squad in the wake of Craig Gordon's injury. It would have been a sore one. You know, Gunn's done brilliantly since coming in. You can't not justify his inclusion. It's with Konate, and he squares it here to Pavard. You might remember him scoring a magnificent goal at the 2018 World Cup against Argentina as they came through 4-3 on that occasion. And Russia trying to play for a throw, and it breaks down for the French on this near side, and Scott McKenna comes over here to take the resulting throw, level with the edge of the centre circle on the Scotland left. Steve Clarke down there at the edge of his technical area as McKenna pulls it forward. McLean flicks it on, but it's cleared by the French to Klose, and then there's a foul there just down in this near side on Ousmane Dembele, and that will be a free kick to the hosts just inside their own half.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's a friendly, can't you? I mean, the pace of the game so far, it's pretty much at walking pace, a lot of it.
Which will probably suit Scotland given the
Tonight.
the rapid pace that exists in this French side. As Griezmann moves it infield to Tchouaméni, and out to his Real Madrid teammate Camavinga, back to Konate, and he rolls it back to Mignon at the edge of his penalty area. Short ball to Pavard. He too plays it to Tchouaméni. He got that first goal against England. It was Giroud who got the winner in that clash at the World Cup last year. The push and Camavinga by Ferguson. Free kick to France. They've taken it quickly. Tchouaméni just moving it back to Pavard, who steps up towards halfway, rolls it forward to Dembele, steps in field away from Gilmour, switching it out to Mbappe on that left hand side. Up goes the road again. Kylian Mbappe faced by Ferguson. Ferguson a little foul on Mbappe, and he's taking his boot off there with the challenge, and the ref's going to bring it back for a French free kick.
Yeah, Lewis Ferguson is obviously very keen to impress, getting a start for the national team, just leaving one on Mbappe there. He just caught the top of his foot and his boots come off. There was nothing in it really. Free kick all the same.
7 minutes in, France free kick. This is the first real opportunity for them to attack the Scotland defence here. Mbappe just sorting his left boot, which was the one that came off after Ferguson's tackle. And Griezmann's out there as well. I think Mbappe's going to leave it for Griezmann. He wanted him to take a quick free kick there and roll it to the left to find him at close quarters. The ref's not quite ready yet, just the magic spray out. And one Scottish player standing in the way is Billy Gilmour. One of 8 changes by Steve Clarke for this game tonight. It's Griezmann with it, left-footed, rolls it to Mbappe. Man in the middle is Pavard. Up goes the goalkeeper, Kelly, to get a really decent clutch onto it, because Benjamin Pavard was hovering, looking to get a clean header on goal there. And that will do Liam Kelly's confidence the world of good here in his international debut. 0-0, 8 played.
Yeah, it was a clever free kick, wasn't it? Just releasing Mbappe down that left-hand side. Don't think the ball in was brilliant, although Liam Kelly came and clutched it. You're right, it's always good for a goalkeeper to get his first kind of catch in the game, get a feel of the ball. He's already had a couple of touches. His kicking, his distribution's normally very, very good, as Liam Kelly's, but he'll be pleased just to get his hands on the ball.
Long ball up towards Ferguson. He's fouled by Konate. Free kick Scotland over on the right hand side of the centre circle, sort of midway between the centre circle and that far side touchline. Lewis Ferguson's first start for Scotland since last March. He played in Vienna in a 2-2 draw. Scotland threw a 2-0 lead away that night. As the free kick from Gilmour comes into the box, but it's a nice easy take for Mignon, who holds on at the edge of his penalty area, and it remains France 0, Scotland 0.
Yeah, it's just a big floaty free kick, easy for the goalkeeper to come and clutch, very similar to the one early on in the match that Scotland had, but no pace in the ball and never really going to threaten.
It's been a pretty fresh day here in Lille, pretty chilly this evening, bone dry though. The pitch was well watered beforehand. As Klose plays it forward, looking for Giroud. It just bounces off France's all-time top scorer and out for a throw-in to Scotland on this near side. He's got 54 goals in his 126 caps coming into this one, Olivier Giroud. He's in a fabulous career, scored 4 times at the World Cup finals last year. His career really took off when he helped unfancied Montpellier win their first French top-flight title 12 years ago. Also those spells at Chelsea and Arsenal as Dembele gets the break of the ball, but Liam Cooper does brilliantly there. It's a little nonchalant back heel to take it away from Giroud, and it's moved out to this near side of McLean. Adams has made a run ahead of him if he can find him. McLean tries to find him. Konate reads the danger. Adams battling for it and gets the touch, but Konate comes out on top, but then it's given away immediately, and out it goes for a throw into Scotland level with the penalty spot on this near side as they do some attacking. Greg Taylor winning his 11th cap tonight to McLean, to McKenna. McKenna rolling it level with 18, Taylor, and now with Gilmour from McLean. Across it comes towards Ferguson at the penalty spot, given away, Gilmour scores! Billy Gilmour has given Scotland an incredible lead here in Lille. It's a defensive nightmare for the French. And Billy Gilmour was there to mop it up at the left angle of the 6-yard area. He bends it past Mignon, and it is France 0, Scotland 1.
Dearie me. I mean, it's a horrendous mistake from the French player inside his own box, trying to be too acute, passing it out, plays it right out to the path of Billy Gilmour. But you've got to say the finish is absolutely brilliant from him, right into the bottom corner, curled it superbly with his right boot. A fantastic goal, a fantastic start. Not what we were expecting.
They've actually settled into the game really well. And Billy Gilmour bending that one home. It's his first goal for his country. What a place to get it. The home of the 2-time World Cup winners and last year's runners-up in that tournament as Dembele's fouled by Gilmour, who will be absolutely buzzing at that.
Amazing. What a moment for him, to score your first goal against a team of the quality of France. Still had a wee bit to do, it looks like an easy chance, but he finished it awfully well.
Now, does that just stir the hornet's nest or what?
I don't know, I just, looking at France since the game kicked off, I know we're only kind of 12 minutes in, but they are so pedestrian. They're just kind of strutting about. They feel as though, I don't know, I mean, it is a friendly, but they really aren't playing with any tempo whatsoever.
1-0 Scotland. Here's Lewis Ferguson picking up, rolling it to McTominay down the right-hand side, stretching his legs, but Konate gets between he and the ball and gets it back to Mignon, who clears with the left foot up towards the halfway line. He'll be picked up eventually there by Cooper, who finds Gilmour to Ferguson. He goes all the way back to Jack Hendry. Hendry has it, and then to Liam Kelly. First time long ball with the right foot. There's a foul there by Ferguson on Hernandez. It's to the left of the centre circle. He's getting involved.
Yeah,
Lewis Ferguson. I remember watching him, Tom, when Aberdeen. It wasn't quite his debut. It was really early in his Aberdeen career when he scored that overhead kick at your old gaff.
Oh yes,
at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
And he was giving it out to all these English Premier League players at the age of 18. It was quite the sight. He's giving it out to the French players tonight.
Yeah.
Typical Ferguson fashion.
Yeah, I mean he's an aggressive player. He wants to win, and I think that's pretty much the same as his uncle.
Look at that. McLean wins it off Dembele, and now it's with Adams, and then to McTominay, to Ferguson, sweeps it forward to Adams. It bounces off him, but McTominay's made it work. Rolls it out to Taylor on the near side. Now McLean. Taylor back to McTominay. Remember, this is a relatively makeshift Scotland side that's out there tonight. It won't have played together before. As Liam Kelly gets it outside his box, short to Hendry. Now to Gilmour, up against a pretty much first choice French team. There's Scott McKenna on this near side. Out to this left-hand side for Taylor. 14 minutes in, France 0, Scotland 1. Stephen was asking, or pointing out, he probably felt it was too early for the Oles from the French supporters with the Scotland fans just now, because the Scots are popping this about beautifully.
They are.
Here's McLean. They're going to get it forward towards Adams, and it's given away, and Pavard can clear. Henry's header forward, looking for Adams, under pressure from Pavard, and it breaks back into French possession and rolled out to the left-hand side. Here goes Hernandez to Mbappe. Mbappe on the turn, rolls it to Hernandez, who overlapped him, and his pass just bounces off Patterson. Kelly can't prevent the corner. It's the first of the game. It goes to the French, but it is 1-0 Scotland.
Yeah, a nice enough move down the left-hand side. Final pass, trying to play Mbappe back in. Comes off of a Scotland player out for a corner. You can hear the French support. They don't know quite what to make of it either. Chance for the now though. Corner. Griezmann outswinger.
Left-footed. The Scotland supporters right on top of it, over on that far side in the corner. Griezmann's corner comes in. There's equaliser. Pavard heads home. Griezmann with a brilliant ball into the box. And Internationale's Benjamin Pavard was there to head it in off Liam Kelly's far post. The lead didn't last long here in Lille. It's France 1, Scotland 1.
It's a cheap goal. It really is. I mean, the quality of ball in is good, but nobody picks her up of Pavard to the near post. It's an exceptional header. Comes off the post, the other post, the far post. Liam Kelly, no chance, but it's a slack goal to lose that.
Well, Benjamin Pavard, I mentioned he scored that outstanding goal. It was goal of the tournament at the World Cup against Argentina in Russia. That one was a close range header, straight from the set play. That will be the bugbear for Steve Clarke. They haven't given themselves an opportunity really to let that lead bed in before it was wiped out by the Inter defender. England incidentally level against Italy in qualifying tonight. Harry Kane with a penalty as Giroud finds Griezmann. Now it's Giroud. The French have woken up all of a sudden. Ousmane Dembele on this near side bends the ball, and it's a pretty poor cross. Patterson's going to be able to go out there, but Hernandez beats him to it and wins. It looked like he'd won the throw-in off Patterson. It's gone the other way, level with the Scotland penalty spot.
It was good play, wasn't it? Just a quick change of pace from Mbappe into Giroud. A couple of one-touches out to this wide side. Dembele, though, the quality across was really poor. Yeah, I mean, I think France have kind of started the game very much in friendly fashion. However, these last few moments they seem to have picked it up a wee bit.
Yeah, it's bowled by Patterson up the line and breaks Griezmann's way though in the midfield. He rolls it to the right of the centre circle for Klaus, who plays his football with Marseille. And in the south of the country, Pavard, the goal scorer, finds Tchouaméni, and that's knocked out to that left-hand side for Hernandez. He goes back to Konaté. Now with the distinctive figure of Eduardo Camavinga, rolls it out to this near side. Klaus, infield to Dembele. You might remember was hooked in 41 minutes of that World Cup final, having given away the penalty when the French were 2-0 down as well. Not too long after that he was sacrificed. Mbappe's cross takes a deflection and that favours the defender, and Scotland clear through Hendry. It's now with Tchouaméni. Short ball out to the left. Konaté striding forward, finds Mbappe. He's burned away from Patterson on the turn. Mbappe into the box, looking for space to shoot. Eventually he passes along the 18-yard line where it's blocked and cleared by Kenny McLean, who was back helping. And Scotland, I think, have got a free kick just at the edge of their box. There's a head knock sustained by one of the Scotland players. It's McTominay. He's just getting himself back to his feet. It's one apiece in Lille on 18 minutes.
It's an astonishing turn of pace there from Mbappe. He basically just opened up his body and he was away, gave Patterson no chance of getting to him. Incredible speed. Ball into the box wasn't so good. Cleared, thankfully for us.
Yeah, Nathan Patterson's no slouch.
No, he's not.
He's nowhere near him there.
That acceleration over 5 yards there was, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that.
Pavard for the French, and de Klaus on this near side, rolling it back the way to Tchouaméni, who finds Camavinga. Long ball, looking for Mbappe in behind again here. Mbappe takes control of the ball over there, left hand side of the Scotland box. Just wriggles away from both Ferguson and Patterson. Back to Hernandez, to Mbappe, to Hernandez again, drops the shoulder, chops back onto his right side, then Jack Hendry gets himself in a fankle, and the shot there from Dembele is blocked. He's lucky, Jack Hendry, trying to be too cute in the penalty area as Mbappe crosses in. It takes a touch off the defender and was behind for a French corner on the same side from which they scored from just a few minutes ago.
There's no doubt France have stepped it up a gear. A slow start to the match for them, but a gear right. Hendry trying to kind of back heel it in the box was not advisable. Thankfully the shot was blocked, but another corner, very similar. Griezmann going out again. Let's hope our marking's better this time.
Yeah, another outswinger with a left peg here from Griezmann. The Scottish player's trying to hold firm there. He's played it low to the edge of the area for Hernandez, who slices it high over the bar. And it will remain, for now at least, France 1, Scotland 1.
It would have been good had it not taken a massive bobble just before Hernandez hit it. It was a clever corner. Griezmann pulling it back to the edge of the box. None of the Scotland players had read it. It just bobbled up as he hit it high into the stand behind us.
It's back with Liam Kelly. There is a VAR tonight, incidentally, even though it's a friendly. There's Liam Cooper. He's another who's had to bide his time. 17th cap for him tonight. Long ball up towards Taylor, but the referee had brought it back for a French free kick.
I think it's for a handball. I mean, Che Adams went up and it looked like he'd won the header, but he must have used his arm to cushion it into the path of Kenny McLean.
Tchouaméni in the centre circle. His pass forward cut out by McTominay. It breaks to Klose on this near side. Infield to Dembele, just shuffling away from Gilmour and then going down. I think he was body checked there. The referee, who had the best view of anyone inside the stadium's given it.
But it was fairly not a lot in it. McTominay just basically brushing him, falls over. There's been a lot of fouls. He's been stop-start a wee bit.
France in possession. Pavard in the centre circle, out to the near side. Again, the French right. Klose loses out to Taylor. Taylor stepping in field to Gilmour. His first time ball forward. They'll go straight to the other goal scorer, Pavard. And now it's Konaté to Tchouaméni. And then to Hernandez wide in the left. Low ball back in field to the France number 8. Then to Konaté. Approaching the end of the first quarter of this one. France dominating now after a really positive opening 10 minutes or so from the visitors. It's been all about the French the subsequent 10 minutes or so. Here is Dembele. And then he moves it to Tchouaméni. And then out to the left-hand touchline. Hernandez level with the edge of the D of the Scottish box. The low ball forward just misses Mbappe and allows Scotland to clear it out for a throw-in over on that far side to the hosts.
Yeah, they're getting a lot more of the ball now, our France. We're sitting quite deep, inviting pressure onto us.
Here is Camavinga on this near side, rolling it infield low there to Griezmann, forward to Giroud, poor ball from him, and it's picked up by Gilmour, who rolls it back to McLean, out to Gilmour again on the touchline here, and he's fouled by a combination of Klose and Giroud, and that'll be a free kick to Scotland, a bit level with their 18-yard line down on this near side. Just looking for a little period of calm in the game, Scotland here, because France are popping it about and they're getting Dembele and Mbappe more and more involved.
Yeah, they are. They're controlling the match just now. It's very difficult for us to get up and out when all 11 players are behind the ball defending. We're finding it hard to get out of our own half at this minute in time.
There's Camavinga rolling it back to Griezmann with the outside of the boot. Now Dembele to Tchouaméni, forward to Dembele, Tchouaméni again, out to Klose, in for Dembele, claims he was fouled by McKenna, the referee agrees. Two relatively soft free kicks that Ousmane Dembele has picked up in the last couple of minutes.
So many fouls, Liam, it's just so stop-start, it's incredible, and you know, they're not, for me, they're not fouls.
He's touch tight, isn't he, McKenna?
Yeah, he's tight, but
arms on him.
Don't think that's a foul.
Free kick to the French here in the Stade Pierre-Mauroy. There's Dembele on the right, chopping in field, left foot cross ball comes in, it's poked away by Adams. Ferguson chases, but Hernandez gets there first. Hernandez rolling it back the way to Konaté, low ball forward to Mbappe on the turn, up against Hendry. It's a cross edge, another for Pavard, another header. Mbappe, the the set-up man this time. And Benjamin Pavard gets and France's second goal in the night. It's France 2, Scotland 1.
It's all about Mbappe. His touch, his turn, taking the ball to the byline. Jack Hendry with him, could not match his pace, which again was unbelievable. The cross into the middle of the 6-yard box where Pavard was, and the easiest header he'll score. I mean, it's just incredible, the acceleration over a couple of yards from Mbappe. The touch, the turn, sublime, and then the cross, magnificent. Unfortunately for us, nobody picking up Pavard for the second time in the game.
Scotland led on 11. The lead lasted 5 minutes. And then 9 minutes after, Pavard made it 1-1, cancelling out the Billy Gilmour goal. He does it again. 2 headers.
What about Mbappe's pace? I don't know how you go about stopping that. When he faces you up and it knocks it past you, you cannot stop it.
It was the difference there, that's for sure. Pavard just had to stick the head on it, and it's going in. So they've certainly upped the ante since they went behind. You did wonder, did ask the question, were they poking the bear? It appears to have been what's happened here. 2-1 France. Here is Kenny McLean going back the way to Cooper. Certainly the Scotland players, they don't look overawed by what they're up against tonight, but just that moment of class there. The first one came from a corner. They'll be disappointed with that one, but when you've got Mbappe twisting, turning, running inside your own penalty area, it's very difficult for them to be able to deal with that kind of situation.
The first one was highly avoidable. The second one, probably the marking should be better as well, but not a lot you can do when Mbappe's running at you.
Well, Pavard had only scored 3 times in 51 caps coming into this one.
Guy. Unbelievable night.
It's Cooper in the centre circle, just rolling it to the right for Hendry. Henry's low ball to McTominay, first time back onto the chest of Gilmour. Gilmour's pass forward goes straight to Tchouaméni. He cannot afford to do that against this standard of opponent, as Mbappe picks up on the far side to Griezmann. He flicks it back to Tchouaméni. Now Camavinga left to the centre circle, switches it to Klose, then out to Dembele on this France right hand side, back into the centre circle for Konaté, then out to the left for Hernandez, up the line for Mbappe. Mbappe goes back the way to Hernandez. It's now back with Konaté, and then on this near side Tchouaméni forward to Dembele, and then Konaté wasn't really expecting it, and it's a panicky ball forward which falls back into Scotland possession with Taylor, who chests and passes it back to his keeper. Now Liam Cooper to Gilmour, and Cooper inside his own penalty area, striding forward. Low ball up to Adams. Adams gets it out from his feet and rolls it out to this near side for Taylor. Taylor infield to Gilmour, first time ball forward for Ferguson, did so well, held off Pavard and rolls it back to Gilmour. And now it's with McKenna. Best period of Scotland possession, or longest period of Scotland possession since they scored the opening goal in the game. France putting them back in their box since then. And here comes Nathan Patterson striding forward into the centre circle, rolls it out to Taylor. The 2 full-backs combining, and the wing-backs. Here's Gilmour, side football to McTominay. Patterson to his right, finds him. Patterson, first time to Ferguson. Ferguson will put it back out wide right for Patterson. Level the edge of the D of the French box. Now McTominay. The shrill whistles and boos from the natives. Scotland enjoying some good possession here. It's Patterson, lovely shimmy away from Camavinga, right hand side of the box, then he runs into the towering Konaté, and France have it back, and the respite is over, and there's a foul by Lewis Ferguson as well on Hernandez, and the French have a free kick. 28.5 on the clock. France 2, Scotland 1.
It was a controlled period of possession from us. I just felt as though we should have put the ball into the box. We had it out on that right hand side. Probably on 3 occasions I would have been tempted to throw it into the box. We had numbers in there, but we just kept recycling it.
There's Griezmann coming forward. He managed to evade McLean and finds Dembele. And you're seeing Antoine Griezmann again next week when his Atletico Madrid team go to Celtic in the Champions League a week tomorrow. It's Mbappe. His pass goes straight to Adams though. His opposing number 10. Out to Ferguson, to Patterson. Patterson then turning away from Giroud. And back into his own penalty area for Hendry, who finds Cooper. Cooper now to Gilmore. Forward to McTominay. And back to Jack Hendry. I noticed yesterday, remember Rodri's comments after the game at hand, in which he was trying to play down when we spoke to him last week, but Didier Deschamps in his media conference yesterday described the Scotland team as beautiful.
He did,
He's been
yes,
impressed.
I read that. Good on him.
Well, he knows what he's talking about.
He does. They've certainly been beautiful in this campaign. It's another Mexican wave lane making a comeback, the old Mexican waves.
And Deschamps won the World Cup '98 as captain, and then led the country to the World Cup 20 years later as manager. Here's Klose on this near side. And Dembele into Camavinga. Rolls it back with the left foot into the centre circle for Konate. Short to Tchouaméni. And out to the left for Hernandez. Back to Tchouaméni. Looks up, clips a lovely ball down the left-hand side of the box for Hernandez. Giroud's waiting in the middle. The pullback wasn't the best, but it bounces off Hendry and straight to Mbappe. He turns it back to Tchouaméni. It's a delicate ball in. Dembele's there. He comes so close. Goal kick. Stays France 2, Scotland 1. Outstanding build-up play by the French. Some pinpoint balls into the Scottish box. And Dembele couldn't turn it home. It stays 2-1 though to the hosts.
It really was fantastic football. The ball in to Dembele, sensational. He probably should do better. He's only a couple of yards out. It lands. It's an awkward run for him. He's got to hit it on the turn, on the half volley. But if he gets that in target, it'd been another goal for France. He just puts it slightly wide of the post, but the football and the build-up play, absolutely superb.
It was looking like a third French goal there, and McTominay's been robbed by Hernandez, and now it's Camavinga driving forward at pace, all the way himself here to the edge of the box. Leaves it for Mbappe, and little miscommunication between the two, but Mbappe picks it up, shoots, blocked by Patterson, and out for a France throw-in over on the far side. It just parted like the Red Sea there for Camavinga.
He should have kept going. It's an unbelievable run from him. Drove 20 yards and split our whole team wide open. I felt as though he should have just kept driving and gone for the shot himself. Lays it off to Mbappe, then tackles Mbappe, strangely.
Tchouaméni into his own half for Konate. Back to Tchouaméni on the French left. And back to Konate. Brahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk's partner this season at Liverpool. As Camavinga picks up another bending ball forward, looking for Mbappe and behind Patterson, but the Everton defender stood firm. It's back by Hendry to his goalkeeper, Liam Kelly. And now with Hendry. Not much Liam Kelly could have done about the two goals, to be fair.
He's no chance with either of them.
Lewis Ferguson.
Headers.
Yeah. Ferguson back to Hendry, to Ferguson, and back to his keeper. And a fabulous season. He's one of, if not the first name in the team sheet. Bologna just now. And the skipper's armband just before the international break late on in a game, so held in seriously high regard.
It's great to see, isn't it? Really is.
No, I mean, he's starring in Serie A, and I know Josh Doig has been doing that as well. Liam Henderson's been in that division for a while, and some of them have just settled beautifully into that country. And as Taylor plays it down the line, he goes out to play for a throw-in. Taylor claims it's a Scotland ball, but Mr. Styler, the referee, disagrees.
Yeah, it didn't look like it to me. Problem is, when we do get the ball and we're in reasonable possession of it, we look limited with options because everybody's kind of behind the ball. It's only really Shea Adams up there, and his link-up play so far hasn't been brilliant.
33 played, 2-1 France. Here's Tchouaméni rolling it to Camavinga to his right, up towards halfway. Camavinga with the right foot back there to Tchouaméni. He squares it there to Pavard. Right to Konate, and then on to the left-hand side for Hernandez. And back to Konate. And there is a superb crowd inside the stadium tonight, just about 50-odd thousand it holds. There's a lot of latecomers, hence the delay to the kick-off. 10-minute delay it was. And it's Konate back to Mignon, the goalkeeper, who controls and then clears with the left foot up towards Giroud. He was fouled by Cooper, says the referee, and it's going to be taken just left of the centre circle.
Again, there's no foul there for me. Giroud's fallen to try and header it. There was
Sorry, you seeing a replay?
Yeah, I was just looking at that attempted shot there, but obviously the referee hadn't blown his whistle. I looked at the replay, yeah, I mean, for me it's not a foul, but anyway, the ref's blown for pretty much everything.
It's over 10 to the break. It's France in possession. Tchouaméni forward to Griezmann. Under pressure from McTominay. Fires it back to Konaté. And then roll it back to Pavard. Low ball out wide left for Hernandez. Will then in turn go back to Mignon. Such a classy French side, this one. And think back to the team that Deschamps captained in '98. He took them to the European Championship title 2 years later as well. A wonderful side. Desailly and Thuram, Henry, Zidane, Trezeguet, and the rest. Makelele. What a team it was.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Zarazu, Blanc, they were all there. Barthez. What a side. And the one that went on to lift the trophy in 2018 was pretty good as well, and lots of them still in amongst it. There's Hernandez out to Mbappe. Hernandez continues his run. He's been brought down there by Patterson. Now Nathan Patterson, I think, is going to be booked for that. I think it's a little bit innocuous.
Agreed.
He's not meant to scythe him to the ground. Left hand side of the Scotland box, though. It's a dangerous free kick situation.
I don't even think he knows he's there. He's just sliding to block the pass.
How's that a yellow card?
He's just sliding to block the pass, and unfortunately for Hernandez, he gets in his way. Patterson knows nothing about that. Really harsh yellow. Dangerous situation this now, though.
France have only lost once since that World Cup final. It was to Germany in a friendly in Dortmund last month. Müller and Sané scored before Griezmann managed a late consolation. Don't lose terribly often, particularly on home soil. Beaten a couple of times in the Nations League last year, right enough, in the Stade de France. And Griezmann stands over the free kick, level with the penalty spot. Left hand side of the Scotland box. Griezmann waits. The signal from the referee. The French looking for a third goal here. A hammer blow to Scotland should it happen. Here he goes, Griezmann, left-footed into the 6-yard area. There's a man down there looking for a penalty with Giroud. He's not getting one, not at the moment. Put forward by Tchouaméni, lovely disguised ball. Mbappe across, and it was so very nearly a third goal for the French. What a ball across from Kylian Mbappe. And it was so very nearly turned home. Was that Pavard again inside the area? He's almost he's almost getting his hat-trick there.
The guy's playing centre half, and he should have had his hat-trick. He slides in. The ball, you rightly say, from Mbappe is sensational. The pass into him in the first place was excellent. Releasing him down the right-hand side, he flashes it right across the face of goal. Pavard sliding in. I think he actually connected with the post as he was sliding there, but he was inches, centimetres away from getting his hat-trick from centre half, which certainly doesn't happen often. That
he's moved to Inter in the summer after 4 years at Bayern Munich. Did Pavard, and he is, as Stephen says, so close to sliding that home at the back post. And they're just been having a little look back at the challenge in Giroud, and they've had a little check at that. That was an official check, which the referee, he just made the sign of the screen there, and he's trotted over.
It's never a good
to
sign.
Near side.
Never a good sign.
Yeah, I think he's coming to have a look at this to see if Giroud was fouled inside the penalty area. France might be awarded a penalty here. It came just before that chance for Pavard at the back post. So they're having a little check for a possible French penalty here. It's difficult for us to see. There is a monitor down there, but you can barely make it out.
Yeah, you need good vision to see that, Liam. There's 2 games in a
I
row
think
we've
you
not
might
had
give
monitors.
this.
Do you think so?
I think there's a little tug there.
On his right arm, yeah, he does pull him. It looks like he's going to give it, I think.
Yeah, here he comes. Tobias Styler comes on, makes the sign of the screen, and points for penalty. Penalty to France. Giroud fouled in the box. And the French will have their chance for a third goal before the break here. In a game Scotland led. And yellow cards has been flashed at somebody as well. In fact, two players. I think was it Liam Cooper who was the offender for the penalty. Willie Miller and Craig Levein will have had a chance to have watched this back a few times. I don't know who's picking up, Willie?
Yeah, it's a clear grab of the jersey, and Giroud's dragged to the ground by Liam Cooper. Liam Cooper is contesting it. He says that Giroud had a hold of him, but as far as we could see, it was a clear pull. It was a definite penalty, and the referee's got it right.
Yeah, we saw it from the back, and so I don't know if maybe Giroud had a hold of Cooper's shirt at the front, that we couldn't see that. But certainly, looking at it from the back, they pulled him on the ground, they pulled his jersey, so it's a penalty.
Approaching 40 minutes. In fact, we just clicked on to that one just now, so the correct decision it was. And Kylian Mbappe is standing over the penalty spot, looking for his 43rd international goal at the age of 24. One of the big superstars comes forward, right-footed, and scores! Kelly gets right, he's annoyed he didn't get a better touch on that. And Kylian Mbappe fires it into the right corner of the net. And having led here in France, Scotland now trail by 2. France 3, Scotland 1.
Yeah, I mean, it is a penalty kick. There is a pull on the shirt of Giroud. Penalties as cool as you like from Mbappe. You're right to say Liam Kelly does guess right. Maybe gets a fingertip to it, but there's enough pace on the ball to send it into Liam Kelly's left-hand corner.
And now you kind of sense that they've got to move into a period of damage limitation to Scotland. Steve Clarke was down there. He watched the referee all the way over to the monitor, which is just behind the Scotland technical area. And that penalty from Mbappe makes it 3-1. It's a difficult night all of a sudden, which is what we were expecting, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're playing against a world-class team, really top team. I think they were sleeping a wee bit in the opening 10 minutes of the game, but they've certainly come to life since then.
The Scotland goal woke them up.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
There's the standards that have been set. That's been passed back there by Klaus to his goalkeeper under pressure from Adams. He gets there. Scotland have it with McTominay. Looking to squeeze it through to the right for Patterson. France make a hash of clearing it because he couldn't find him, but they've got it back immediately here with Billy Gilmour in the midfield. He rolls it to the right for McTominay. Then out to Patterson. 3 minutes left of the 45. There will be a couple of minutes added though on top of that because of the VAR. Here is Ferguson. Goes back to Hendry. And then Ferguson, Jack Hendry playing on the right of the three this evening. Ryan Porteous, one of the players to drop out. He is on the bench tonight. Here's Hendry to McTominay. And that goes all the way back to Liam Kelly. And I suppose now that France have got their 2-goal cushion, Tomo, the Scotland supporters will be hoping that they take their foot back off the gas.
Yeah.
They weren't quite at full throttle, but they were getting there. They were getting into the zone, weren't they?
Yeah, a wee bit. And you get it at half-time 3-1. You take that just now. I think the worry is...
Here's Hernandez though, driving down the left-hand side. Mbappe is in field if he wants him. He pulls it back to Mbappe. His effort towards the 6-yard area is cut out and Scotland clear. Griezmann was the better option there as the shot comes from Tchouaméni from 30-odd yards out, straight down the throat of Kelly, who holds on. And it stays France 3, Scotland 1. If Griezmann takes control of that situation there, it's probably 4-1.
Yeah, the eventual pass into Mbappe's just ahead of him, in front of him. And he's really kind of stretching for it. Can't get any real purchase on the effort to go. But you're right, if it was Griezmann, then he's looking at a shot from 7-8 yards. It was great play down the left-hand side again. So quick when they do break, when they do turn the burners on. It's incredible to watch.
World-class operators. Adams fouled by Pavard. So Scotland free kick just about midway inside French territory, left to centre. Again, this just allows them to take a little breather from this one. The outcome of this game is inconsequential to anything that Steve Clarke has done and will do with this set of players, qualifying for a major finals automatically for the first time since the World Cup in this country. As Patterson clips the ball in, Dembele just lets it flight behind him for a goal kick. Kenny McLean annoyed and the pass didn't come a little bit closer to him there when it was dinked into the area. It's a France goal kick. We're in the 45th minute and the home team lead 3-1. Incidentally, the big screens at either end of the ground have reset the scoreline to 0-0.
Oh, that's good news.
Happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, Scotland, the goal apart, which was a gift from a mistake from France. Again, you know, much like when we played against Spain.
It's through towards Mbappe. He's got goal side of Hendry. Hendry sticks with him. He's done well there. Jack Hendry, Giroud, and made a great run into the box as well. Jack Hendry, a little bit last ditch, but it had the desired effect as Gilmour gives it straight to Griezmann. 3 minutes added. Here's Mbappe through to Griezmann. Flags up. It will remain France 3, Scotland 1.
What I was going to say was, we don't look a threat in the final third. You know, when we've got the ball, we're really struggling to keep a hold of it and build into attacking situations, which was similar to when we played against Spain.
Cooper out to Taylor on the near side, midway inside his own half. Infield to Gilmour. Side football forward to Adams, is shielding it from Pavard and then switching it out to Patterson. He's done well. Scotland number 10. Here's McTominay taking over. Patterson to his right, rolls it to him, faced by Hernandez. Down the line to McTominay. He turns away from his man. And again, he's halfway through the French half of the field. It's out with Ferguson. Returns it to Patterson inside the box. Across it comes, beaten away by Mignon. And Camavinga slips it away from Ferguson. And France have it back with Kanate. He's managed to fire it low through to Giroud over on the left hand side. Cooper's the covering player for the visitors. Giroud rolling it back into the feet of Mbappe. Infield to Giroud at the left angle of the box. He just moves himself away from McTominay. Finds Griezmann out to this near side. It comes for Klose. And now Dembele drops the shoulder onto the left, onto the right. He shoots for goal. Kelly spills it. Chance for Giroud, goes down. He's learned another penalty. This time off Kelly as Cooper clears and puts it out for a throw-in. Giroud's got his arms outstretched, lying on the deck, asking why the referee hasn't spotted this one. It was the initial effort from Dembele which Liam Kelly spilled. And Giroud then went down as Kelly tried desperately to retake control of the situation.
There's the slightest touch from Liam Kelly's boot on Giroud, but
We're getting away with this one.
Well, for me, I don't think it's enough for him to go down as theatrically as he did. Liam will be disappointed he didn't manage to hold on to the initial shot. It was dipping at him awkwardly, but for me, I don't think that's a penalty.
3-1 remains to France. It's been a little bit ropey just lately in this one, coming towards the end of the 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, a few minutes ago we had probably our best opening of the game down the right hand side. Lovely play.
Yeah.
Patterson played in by McTominay. He should have cut it back to the edge of the box where Kenny McLean was. He tries to flash it across the face. The goalkeeper saved, but at least we showed a wee bit of attacking intent.
France in possession with Kanate. Rolls it out to the left hand side for Hernandez. Then to Kanate and out to Pavard. Squares it to Kanate, walking pace up to the centre circle, forward to Tchouaméni. Now it's with Griezmann, now it's with Giroud. First time low ball out to Hernandez. The French looking for another one before the break. It breaks down though over on the left hand side and the referee sounds the half time whistle. Oh, France, after a slow start, have taken control. They've been a threat every single time they've come forward. And after Billy Gilmour gave Scotland the lead, it almost woke them up. It annoyed them. That goal going in 11 minutes after slack play at the back by the French. And their manager set such high standards as a player, and he does as well as a manager. He won't have liked that, but his team eventually came to the party, and they have a 2-goal cushion at the interval. Benjamin Pavard equalising just 5 minutes after Gilmour's opener. He would make it 2-1 on 25 minutes with another header The first from a corner, the second after a brilliant play by Mbappe, who just simply outpaced Jack Henry before crossing and putting on a plate for Pavard, who took his international goal tally from 3 to 5 in the space of 9 minutes tonight. And then after the VAR check towards half-time, Giroud hauled down by Liam Cooper in the box, and Kylian Mbappe stepped up. Kelly guessed right. Mbappe found the net for his 43rd goal for his country on his 73rd cap. A frightening player, and he has been the big difference in this game so far. Half-time in Lille is France 3, Scotland 1.
Scotland, live on Sports Sound.
Wonderful goal for Scotland!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Previously on Breaking the News.
The UK and Republic of Ireland will host the 2028 European Football Championships. Scotland will qualify after winning 2024's European Football Championships.
Scotland's topical panel show with Des Clark.
Games are going to be played at Hampden in this tournament. What would you recommend a first-time visitor to Scotland do while they're here?
Vitamin D.
Breaking the News. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
And catch the next programme Friday from 1:30 on BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon. What a start it was for Scotland, going ahead through Billy Gilmour. And that was his first ever goal, not just for Scotland, but his first ever goal at senior professional level. He did score for the underage teams for the various levels for Scotland, but never as at the full-time professional top flight level. Incredible to have found the net, but wow, we have seen, I think, since why the French are held in such high esteem. 3-1, might have been more, I guess. Willie Miller, what have you made of the opening 45?
I quite enjoyed the opening 10, Richard. I must admit, I thought, Scotland were playing some nice football, very attractive, easy in the eye, and were progressive. And obviously get presented with the goal, which, Billy Gilmour took exceptionally well. So it was all looking very positive. But that's really been the only effort on goal, the only chance. And, disappointing, I would say, to lose the first goal from, the corner kick, isn't it? The marking just wasn't right. I think it was Nathan Patterson that was picking him up. Che Adams had responsibility at the near post and didn't take that responsibility, and it ends up in the back of the net from Pavard. And then on, listen, this is what we expected, isn't it? Come on, let's admit it. We're looking at one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world at this moment in time, playing in their home patch, and they've taken control of the game, utter control of the game. The second goal, the cross from Mbappe, I understand what Stephen's saying, but I still think Henry could have done better and maybe used his body a little bit, maybe anticipated a little bit more. And listen, we know the quality that Mbappe's got and the pace that he's got as well, but I still question if Henry could have done a little bit better, and then the penalty is a penalty. I'm afraid to say it's a tug on the jersey of Giroud. Cooper does it. It's pretty blatant actually when you see it. And there's been another two opportunities. One flashed across the face of the goal that Pavard couldn't get onto, and then the Dembele half volley that if he'd have made better contact with. So it's what it is, Richard. They're a class above us at present. I think the team will have learnt a lot from the first half. Second half you would be hoping for a bit of improvement because it really haven't built up anything at all. There's been no threat. Scotland have been no threat at all going forward. So if they could maybe be a little bit more of a threat going forward and keep the scoreline as it is, I think we could go away home relatively happy, but in the knowledge that that's the level that France are at just now, and it's way beyond us in the showing of the first half.
Craig, I would imagine you go along with your learned colleague, do you?
Yeah. I mean, Che Adams for me hasn't done enough, but I have a degree of sympathy with him because, I mean, quite often when the ball came up to him, there was two or three players surrounding him, two or three French players surrounding him, and he couldn't quite get the ball under control just to secure it and allow the midfield players to come up and support him. And that's the more often that happens, the less likely the midfield players are to support. And I think we're seeing Shea Adams get isolated a little bit.
Yeah.
And the midfield players are scared to go and support because of the pace on the counter attack that France have got. Particularly when it goes down to Mbappe. Like, honestly, he's breaking the speed limit there. It's unfair.
I'm looking at, sorry Richard, I'm looking at a replay of the corner for the first goal, and we've got so many white jerseys in the box picking up nobody. You know, there has got to be question marks in the organisation for the corner. I'm not too sure what Shea Adams been asked to do, but normally if you're the front post man, you have got to be aware of who's behind you and who's going to run in front of you and make sure he doesn't get in front of you. You know, Patterson loses Pavard completely, and then the rest are all statuesque. It's like, you know, there has got to be better organisation at set pieces, and that's a bitter blow when you're playing against the French side. You know you're going to struggle from open play, but you know, to lose that goal from a corner kick, I think is hugely disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it is the kind of goal, I guess, that it's a lot easier to defend that kind of situation because you can set up to make sure that you're with the men. Just in terms of some of the stuff that we've seen, Mbappe in particular, there was, I mean, the cross for the second Pavard goal, the speed that he showed in the space of, I mean, 2 steps, Craig, it was astonishing. But not only that, as he gets just that inch or two, I suppose, on the defender, it's the speed at which he then whips the cross in almost the same movement. I mean, you just do not see that kind of thing.
I mean, you know what I would be really interested in finding out? What he could run 100 metres in. I bet he'd be around about 10.1 or 10.2. So, seriously.
I don't know.
Honestly, it's like an Olympic sprinter.
Yeah. But see the thing,
he's got quality on the ball as well. You know, it's just unfair, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I know he's very quick, but you know, it's probably the speed over a much shorter period or a much shorter distance than that's difficult to defend. But I honestly do think that Henry could have done better. You know, I think the initial movement with the body is kind of a left Henry, but you know, for me, it's a byline that you've got to defend there, and he didn't defend the byline. I would have been, you know.
Willie, would you have caught him? You'd have caught him, wouldn't you?
No, I'm not saying that.
It'd be studs down the Achilles.
What I'm saying is that, you know, when you get into that position, then for me, the danger is that he hits a byline and he gets a cross in, because I think there's enough bodies if you try to force him to go inside. And listen, I could be perfectly wrong. He might have forced him inside and he sticks it in the top corner. Yeah. But I just felt that it was a little bit, you know, unbalanced. And I think that he's got to defend the byline better. Now, I'm being critical against one of the best players in the world, so I'm not being overly critical. I'm just pointing out that I think he could have done a little bit better, that's all.
Having watched him in this first half in the stadium here, I've not seen anything like it in real life watching a game of football. The pace, when he wants to, that just initial acceleration over 5 yards, certainly I've not seen anything like that. It's incredible. So I mean, how do you stop? How do you go about stopping it? You show him down the line, you show him inside, he's going to beat you anyway because of his pace.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, it's the end product as well. I mean, there's lots of players that are quick, not as quick as him, of course, but they sometimes don't have the end product.
Yeah.
But he's got the speed, he's got the strength,
he's got everything.
The composure.
Yeah.
He's got. That's why he's arguably one of the best strikers in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that. But it still doesn't mean that we can't be critical. You know, if we think there is a fault there. No, if we think there's because we could just say, let's just give it up, and this just far too good for us, and not actually point out what I'm seeing. So I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing, and I think if he'd have been a little bit better balanced, if he would have defended the byline a little bit better, he might have been able to stop it. But listen, France are streets ahead of us. France are streets ahead of us. You know, I mean, it could be 4 or 5, but that first 10 minutes was hugely encouraging. I thought you know, some of the passing and the passages of play were very good from Scotland. But since then, the French have just taken control.
Remarkable to think, isn't it, Craig, that was Billy Gilmour's first goal.
I know, I found that amazing.
Senior level.
Yeah.
As I say, he scored for under 21s and the other underage groups, but as a fully fledged senior professional, it's incredible.
He's played for some games for Chelsea earlier on, didn't he? In Norwich, Brighton. Yeah. I don't know how many games he'd played in total in senior football, but I'm quite surprised at that as well, actually. Somebody with his technical ability. That was a great finish, wasn't it? I mean, it's
something like 60 or 70 games that he's played.
So he's not prolific then.
That might be him started. Might be about to become a Scott McTominay.
Yeah, the hot streak.
When you become a Scotland midfield player, you start scoring goals, Richard. Come on.
Yes.
We should know that now.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he continues.
It's been a... Well, he said it's pretty much as I expected as well. I mean, we've at times shown good composure on the ball. Our biggest problem is getting the ball up to Shea Adams and him securing possession and giving the midfield players confidence to attack. Patterson had a couple of runs earlier on. Him and Ferguson looked like they might get something going down that right hand side, which was quite encouraging. But we've just not done enough of it. And I put that mainly down to the opposition, in all honesty.
Yeah, sometimes you can't do anything about it. Sometimes the opposition is just far better than you. It'll be interesting to see what Steve Clarke does in the second half. If he's up for changes at half time as well. Obviously, it looks as though the goalkeeper's going to change. So that is going to be one change. But does he look at maybe bringing on some bit of fresh energy in midfield? They're up top, so it'll be interesting to see what his thoughts are. He's been loyal. He's given some of the players that haven't had much time on the field to play an opportunity, but I just wonder if he would consider changes at half time, or maybe just leave it to the normal, maybe 70 minutes or whatever, and then start making the changes. Time will tell.
I think we're as anticipated. Zander Clark coming on for the second half. Just elsewhere, in fact, Denmark have just gone in front against San Marino. They had led, only for San Marino to level up. But with about 20 minutes to go, assuming VAR does not intervene, the Danes will have regained the lead. England are set to qualify tonight. I've got to say, Calvin Phillips, somewhat fortunate perhaps to still be in the park, given what I've just seen there, and I'm sure he was booked earlier in the match. It's incredible. Anyway, England are 2-1 up against Italy, and Ukraine have turned things around against Malta. They lead by 2-1. So it is it's Italy who are then potentially in a bit of difficulty in that group. England 16, Ukraine on 13, Italy on 10. Italy do have an extra game, so they do have a game in hand. They're away to Ukraine in the last game, so that clearly is going to be potentially the decider. Northern Ireland trailing 1-0 at home to Slovenia. Serbia and Montenegro are 1 apiece. Lithuania 2-1 against Hungary. Earlier it was Finland 1, Kazakhstan 2. England into the final quarter, and it looks as if, well, if that scoreline stays the same, that will see them through this evening. Scotland, of course, already there. It is a friendly in Lille this evening, but we have certainly seen some quality from Didier Deschamps' remarkable side, and some real individual contributions as well. 1-0 Scotland early. France have turned it round to lead 3-1 at the interval. The players re-emerging for the second half. It's full live commentary here on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland with Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Zander Clark is now on for his Scotland debut after replacing Liam Kelly, who couldn't do much about the goals that went past him in that first half. The two headers from Pavard and the penalty from Mbappe. And just down there, the Scotland players are having a word with Zander Clark, just encouraging the Hearts goalkeeper. So that means Hearts have got 2 Scotland international goalkeepers on the books now. And Craig Gordon very close to making his return. Of course, the result here tonight is of no consequence, really. I mean, what they don't want to do is take a serious hammering, given just how positive everything is right now in the qualification for Euro 2024. And it would be a third successive defeat, albeit against all top-tier sides. But the real stuff all kicks off at the Allianz Arena in Munich next June. On the 14th of June, Germany in Group A will kick it off against somebody when they are brought out in the draw in Hamburg at the start of December. Scotland, of course, their name very much will be to the fore when that draw is made. The Scotland players have been out for a little while. The French side just making their way back out onto the pitch just now. I don't see any changes at the moment. Looks as though they're going to go same as at the start of the second half, and what is a side riddled with talent, with skill, with pace, with purpose. Last year's beaten World Cup finalists will kick off the second half. Shooting right to left as we watch. The Scotland fans are off to our right, away up in the far corner of the stadium. And France kick off. Scotland in their changed colours, the all white with navy flashes. France in their all navy blue with gold. As Hernandez moves it back to Konate. So Zander Clark in goal for Scotland. Henry, Cooper, McKenna, Patterson and Taylor are wide. McTominay and Gilmour in the middle. McLean and Ferguson and Che Adams. For the French, Mignon in goal. Klose, Pavard, Konate and Hernandez at the back. Griezmann, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Dembele and Mbappe supporting Giroud. And it is the French in possession over on the far side with the aforementioned Dembele. Just to the edge of the centre circle, he flicks it to Camavinga and he rolls it out to Hernandez. And now it's with Mbappe. And he rolls it back to Camavinga. Stephen, I wonder what Steve Clarke will hope to get out of the second half now.
Well, he'd love to not concede again, that's for sure. I think he'll... Oh, a wee chance here.
Oh, it's dropped the ball over to the right. It's Klose who pulls it back and the flag goes up belatedly. And that will be a free kick to Scotland for offside.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to keep a clean sheet in this second half, obviously, and be a wee bit more of a threat going forward. We really struggled to make any dent in France. Obviously, the goal we got was a mistake by France, well executed by Billy Gilmour, but it's so difficult. It's easy to sit here and say we try and do this, try and do that. You're playing against a team that's got so much quality. It's very difficult to do on the pitch.
Chip ball up towards the halfway line, headed forward by Tchouaméni, picked up though by Patterson on this near side. Nathan Patterson driving forward, earning his 17th cap tonight. Here's Che Adams with a chest, and then the pass back to McTominay to Gilmour. Right to left of the circle for McKenna. Then out to the left-hand side it goes to Taylor. Taylor steaming forward as he loves to do for his club team, but shows way too much of it to Klose, who nicks it back off him and rolls it to the right angle of the box for Tchouaméni. His pass forwards cut out by McTominay. McTominay strong, good play. Rolls it out to Taylor. And Taylor's not really got a route forward. He has to go back to Cooper. It's France, a good defensive side as well. Here's Hendry, right of the circle, across the halfway line for Gilmour. Now it's with McLean with the left foot, turns it out to Taylor. Over on the far side, short ball in field to captain for the night, McTominay. And now Gilmour, short ball to Hendry. Hendry over on this right-hand side. It's good Scottish possession. This in the 3rd minute of the second half. It's with McLean. Left-footed ball out to the right-hand side for Patterson. It's being forced back up the line though on this near side by Hernandez, and he gives it away, and it's with Camavinga. Goes back to Tchouaméni. Little short ball to Konate, and back to the keeper Mignon. 3-1 France.
It was a good spell of possession for us there. When the ball went out to Greg Taylor on the left hand side, you would normally see him going take on the fullback and try and get a cross in. He comes out, and yes, we kept the ball for a good 20 odd passes, but it was all across the pitch.
First time ball to Griezmann on that right hand side. Giroud and Mbappe in support. Griezmann rolls it back to the edge of the centre circle for Camavinga. Just brushing McTominay aside and squaring it there to the right of the circle for Pavard. Short ball to Ousmane Dembele. Challenged by McKenna. Breaks back to Dembele though. Back into his own half. Squares it to Tchouaméni. And then back the way to Pavard. Short ball over to the right hand side for Klose. And then Dembele back to Konate under pressure from Ferguson here. Is Konate fouled by Ferguson, says the referee, and Che Adams passed it straight at Mignon. It is France 3, Scotland 1, and it's a French free kick at the edge of their own box.
Silly foul to give away. Konate was under serious pressure there. Felt the attention of Lewis Ferguson and just dropped to the ground, but they're putting him under a wee bit of pressure.
Exciting year ahead for the Scots. They've got that Euro 2024 to look forward to. They've got Nations League A action coming next autumn. They have a couple of friendlies in March. There'll be a couple of friendlies at the start of June. And the build up to the return to European Championship, back-to-back appearances of that. And then it'll be into the Nations League before the World Cup qualifiers start the year after.
It's relentless.
Yeah, it is. The World Cup qualifiers, that's changing. The European qualifiers changing to groups of 5 or 4. As that is threaded through towards Mbappe. Cooper gets there. It's just about enough on it to get it back to Zander Clark, who wallops it forward as far as he can get it away from Mbappe. And it stays France 3, Scotland 1. Passed out to the right-hand side to Klose. Looks up, right foot ball. Too much on it for Dembele. And that will go behind for the goal kick. Now the French have got lots of quality on their bench today, but if Scotland can get to around about the hour mark, Deschamps may well start to make the changes. They can't find another goal or two before they start doing that. We see it so often, Tomo, in friendlies in particular, where it just completely changes the course of the game and takes the sting right out of it, and that would probably be good news for Scotland tonight.
Yeah, I'd imagine we'd do similar, Liam. It's another foul. Lewis Ferguson is giving away a lot of fouls tonight. He's just so keen to win the ball, but too many fouls.
Might not be getting away with too many of those in a competitive game.
No.
France on the ball. Klose infield there to Tchouaméni, back into his own half for Pavard, who finds Konate. It's a poor ball from Ibrahima Konate, gives it straight to Taylor. Then McKenna to McLean, and back it comes to Cooper. Hasn't seen too much in the way of action for his club team Leeds recently. Liam Cooper kept in play by Taylor on the far side. First time ball to McLean, forward to Adams, goes all the way back to Cooper.
We're very safe when we get the ball. We're always passing back the way and taking the kind of easier option. I'd like to see somebody go and commit, a French player take them on, try a pass that's slightly more difficult.
We saw it at times in Seville, didn't we? They were poor on the ball, so perhaps they're just, even if it's possession for possession's sake at times, and against this kind of team, as long as they've not got the ball, they can't hurt you.
Well, that's true, yeah, that's absolutely true. But in a real game, when you're 3-1 down, then you've got to go and chase it a bit. It's good to get a touch of the ball, move the ball, but you've got to do something with it at the end of the day.
There's McTominay in the midfield, to the left of the circle, out to Taylor on the far side, touchline, back to McKenna, and he goes all the way back to Clark. Giroud at close quarters. Clark clears up towards the halfway line. The cushion header from Konate to Camavinga though, and France have it back. Pavard short to Tchouaméni, and then Konate rolls it out wide left to Hernandez on the French left. Back onto the halfway line for Konate. Into the centre circle, Benjamin Pavard out to the right hand side. Klose forward to Dembele in that central area. Dembele back to the left of the centre circle for Konate, to Mbappe, then to Konate again, right along the halfway line to the right of the circle for Tchouaméni. Side foot to Klose, back to Tchouaméni again, and he finds his Real Madrid teammate Camavinga. Out to the right hand side, Klose up again to Dembele, and a short ball, Tchouaméni into the centre circle for Pavard. The French looking for a way through. They're being patient here. 53.5 on the clock. They lead 3-1. Here is Giroud under pressure from Cooper. He's away from him, rolls it out to the right hand side. Klose Back to Tchouaméni, now to Camavinga. How many passes is this?
It's been a lot.
Giroud. He scoops it back to Konate just outside the centre circle. Rolls it out to the left for Hernandez. Patterson comes to meet him and he passes it back into his own half for Konate. The Liverpool player gives it away. And then straight to McKenna, but Ferguson gives it straight back to Konate.
We win the ball back and we give it away within half a second.
Played forward by Tchouaméni, too much on the pass. And Dembele's not getting there, it's right through to Zander Clark. 3-1 to the French.
It's got a real feeling of a friendly game right now, doesn't it? You know, I've kind of walking pace and just not any real pressure on anybody.
Yeah, more winnable games to come next month as the Scots finish off qualifying Group A. The trip to Tbilisi to take on Georgia. How good will it be to be going to Tbilisi without any pressure? Because they've had a nightmare there twice in the not too distant past. And Alec McLeish and Gordon Strachan. And that's been the killer blow actually to those two campaigns to reach Euro 2008 and Euro 2016, which was hosted in this country. Scotland get it forward towards Adams at the edge of the France box. His cross into the box is cleared by Klose with Greg Taylor in behind. He likes to get forward and into that inverted position as McKenna finds McLean and now McTominay. Eases it out to Patterson on this near side. Ferguson ahead of him. Ferguson then in field to McTominay. McTominay wanted just a little bit too long on it. Camavinga enough to put him off, and his pass went straight to Dembele, but he couldn't find a teammate, and it's cleared forward into the Scotland half and picked up by Cooper, who finds Hendry. Now Ferguson and Liam Cooper. And Jack Hendry really has been excellent in the last couple of tournaments, Euro qualifying in the Nations League last year. Scotland stringing some great results together to get themselves to back-to-back Euros. Not got a great record in friendly, Scotland. They've only won one of the last 10. That was in Luxembourg before Euro 2020. It's scooped out towards Patterson, but Hernandez gets there and passes it back into his own half for Konate. Forward to Camavinga, now with Griezmann. To outside the centre circle. That pass is in behind Klose, and that will be a throw into Scotland over on the far side. France 3, Scotland 1 here on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Remember the domestic action getting back underway across the weekend. Full coverage on BBC Scotland, as you might expect. And it will begin on Friday evening under the lights in Airdrie. Airdrieonians against Queen's Park on the telly, and then there are the matches on Saturday. 5 Premiership games. Rangers Hibs included in that, and Aberdeen Dundee, the later kick-off at Pittodrie before Hearts Celtic on Sunday. The national team ending a celebratory international window with this friendly in France. Here is Patterson. This near side that it is being played at walking pace.
There's a severe lack of energy. It really is kind of pedestrian stuff.
Gilmour's challenge on Camavinga. The ref's not happy with that one either. I don't think. He's coming over to tell a couple of the players to settle down, including Billy Gilmour and Lewis Ferguson. We approach 58 minutes with the French leading by 3-1.
There's just no urgency to anything. Either team, no urgency, no speed. Both teams quite happy just to have spells of possession and without really doing anything with it.
Normally so good defensively as well, Scotland. This is coming up a level though, and it's no surprise that the only teams to score more than once against them in their last 11 are Turkey, England, Spain and now the French. As Mbappe comes forward at the edge of the box, rolls it to Griezmann, little delicate chip for Mbappe, who scissor kicks it behind for the goal kick. You can only imagine he lost his bearings a little bit there, unless he was trying to pivot himself into a position where he could
If he scores from
put it
there,
across
Liam,
the face of goal.
they just go home if he scores from there.
Yeah.
And if he goes for the 1-2 with Griezmann, he kind of flicks it up to him. He's on the byline, goes for the overhead
I mean,
kick.
they were out of that World Cup final after that Angel Di Maria goal that made it 2-0. It was done. But Kylian Mbappe single-handedly hoisted them back off the canvas, made it a game again. It's Pavard, Adams putting the pressure on. He's managed what to do really well, actually, get it back to his keeper. Mignon clears. Adams' eyes would have lit up a little bit there. Kenny McLean tries to control in the chest, but only for Klose to clear up towards halfway. One in the air by Cooper and then fired forward by Griezmann. Wide right, Dembele. Early ball, Mbappe. Mbappe's onto it, onto the right foot, steadies himself. Shot blocked by Patterson. And out it comes to this near side when it's picked up by Camavinga. Returns it back to Hernandez. And now Tchouaméni.
First real chance of the second half, that big chance for Mbappe. He just tries to put it through Nathan Patterson's legs, trying to be a wee bit too cute. Nathan Patterson defended it well.
Griezmann for Dembele. Short ball out to Tchouaméni on this left-hand side. He's got Hernandez. Expect France changes to be coming soon. A few of their subs going through their paces just behind Zander Clark's goal. Off to our left. Griezmann back to Pavard, right of the centre circle. Short ball to Camavinga. Beyond the hour mark here in Lille. Chip ball forward by the French, picked up by Cooper. Now McTominay rolls it out to Taylor on the left. Taylor under pressure from Dembele. Side foot ball back to his goalkeeper. Zander Clark under pressure from Giroud. Puts it out for a throw-in on the far side. He apologises to Greg Taylor, but when you've got the ball being played back to you and you've got France's all-time record goal scorer bearing down on you, you can understand the panic.
Well, yeah, he probably should have shown a bit more composure. I'll be disappointed with that one. Could have gone long with it as well. Just a wee bit frantic.
Back with Tchouaméni. Plays it to the right of the centre circle. It's a long ping ball forward towards Mbappe. He's onto it. He pulls it across, but it goes straight to Patterson. Flags up against Mbappe anyway. And that's a free kick to Scotland.
It's a sensational pass over the top for Mbappe. It really was. His first touch takes him kind of towards the byline. He was never going to score. Trying to cut it back into the middle for Giroud. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Flag was up.
There's a chance here for Ferguson. He's going to run it off to his left, and McLean checks his run. Ferguson passes it into his feet now. Infield to Gilmour. Forward to Ferguson. Ferguson up against Griezmann. Turning away from him, moving towards the edge of the France box. He's chopped to the ground. And that's a Scotland free kick at the left angle of the France penalty area. Almost on 62. France 3, Scotland 1.
It's good play from Lewis Ferguson. Gets turned for once, commits. The French player takes him on, brought down. Decent area this. 25 yards out on the angle. Good chance to put the ball into the box.
Yeah, 2 over it. On that far side, Jack Hendry is interested. He is inside the box. Ferguson, Cooper, Adams, McKenna, all in there. And left Patterson is the deepest lying outfield player midway inside the France half. This is about level with the edge of the D, and they end up McLean and McTominay over it. And there's going to be Scott McTominay who'll take it. And right-footed free kick, which he could potentially bend in on top of the French defence. Group of players run about the penalty spot. German referee just about ready to go. And here it comes from McTominay, low ball in, is easily cleared by the French. Back up into the air, Patterson to the edge of the France box. Offside flag was up, and that against Che Adams. And it stays France 3, Scotland 1 on 63 as the French prepare to make a double change. Olivier Giroud will not be adding to his glittering goal tally for Les Bleus this evening. And he is going to be hooked here. Marcus Thuram, the son of the great Lilian Thuram, one of the 98 and 2000 heroes in this country, will come on. On he comes, and the other change, Ousmane Dembele, will be replaced by Kingsley Coman of Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a quiet night for Giroud and for Mbappe, really. They haven't really done too much. Scotland going to make a couple of changes of their own now.
Jacob Brown and John Souttar. Liam Cooper is coming off. And the other change, Brown, presumably will be Adams, who will be coming off.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for Adams, much like Lyndon Dykes over in Spain. Very difficult to get enough touches of the ball and secure it, and really is a lonely place playing as a single striker when you're against a team that's got so much possession and quality in the ball. You rarely see the ball.
Jacob Brown of Luton Town in the English Premier League these days. They signed him, he'd previously been at Stoke. This is his 7th cap. Born in Halifax with his mum, born in Glasgow. And he comes on to lead the line for the latter part of this game. Just over a quarter of it still to play. Here come the French, and it's Thuram involved immediately down this near side. So too Souttar, the Rangers defender, all over him, and he wins the throw-in as well off Thuram, and did well there in his first piece of action. John Souttar, who's earning just his 8th cap tonight. He's been in the national setup for a while, made his debut under Alec McLeish in 2018 in a game against Belgium, a friendly. The injuries have prevented him adding to the cap total as McTominay picks up in the midfield, and now it's with Hernandez as he pinches it back, then into his own half for Pavard. Out to the right for Klose. He's got Koeman ahead of him. Steady steers it infield, finds Griezmann. Out to Koeman and back into his own half for Pavard. Short ball to Griezmann, now back to Pavard, and he switches it to Tchouaméni left of the centre circle. Out to this near side for Theo Hernandez. Stabs it forward to Mbappe. It's been a little quieter in the second half as Mbappe goes all the way back to his keeper. I mean, Olivier Giroud, as I mentioned, is France's all-time top scorer. 3 of the top 5 started this game here this evening. Giroud is on 54, Mbappe's on 43. Giroud's record's going at some point sooner rather than later, you would imagine.
Can be guaranteed of that. Mbappe's, it's crazy to think just how young he still is.
Well,
what he's achieved in his career so far.
13 years younger than Giroud.
Yeah.
37, will probably be playing injury dependent in his final major tournament next year. Remember how good Olivier Giroud was in their way to the World Cup in 2018. Didn't score a single goal in that tournament. He was so important to what France did in Russia that year. And that's fired out to Nathan Patterson for Scotland now. Midway inside the French half, forward to Ferguson. Rolls it infield to Gilmour. Midway inside the France half, back to the edge of the centre circle from McKenna. Big switch of play out to Taylor. Now McTominay, level with the 18, just rolls it back down the line for McLean, infield to McKenna. He in turn plays it into the centre circle for Souttar. Souttar out to the left hand side for McLean. Taylor had made a run ahead of him, and he elects to take the safe option, finds McTominay. Now it's Souttar to Gilmour, back to Souttar. Then Scott McTominay rolls it with the right out to the left for McLean, now taking over from Taylor. Back to McKenna. And short to Kenny McLean. 67.5, bang on to the final quarter we go. France 3, Scotland 1. McTominay holding off Koeman, playing it out to Ferguson, to Taylor, back down the line for Ferguson. Here is McTominay. He passes it back into his own half for Scott McKenna, winning his 31st cap this evening. McKenna, and now it's with McLean. Ferguson to Souttar. Again, we're in a period of the game where Scotland are seeing a lot of the ball but not really going anywhere with it.
Exactly, and France aren't pressing us, so we're just keeping it. When we do get into the kind of final third area, we're more often than not are turning back out and going back the way with the safer option.
Well, just as Tomo was talking, they gave it away. Camavinga nicked it back, and he is being fouled by Taylor, says the referee. That is a free kick to the French, just right of the centre circle, or rather their box. Over on the right, level with the edge of the D.
It's not been a great watch this second half, in all honesty, Liam.
No, but I think when the half-time whistle went, Stevie Clarke would have been content had that been the full-time whistle. And the way France were playing in that final 30 minutes of the first half, they turned the 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 lead. There was another little penalty appeal just before the break for Giroud, which wasn't given. Lovely flick, Thuram to Griezmann, flicks it with the outside of the left, finds Coman on the edge of the area under pressure from McKenna, gets a little touch onto it, able to get it half away. Thuram shoots, blocked, pings out to Mbappe, left hand side of the box. They're going to get it back here to Thuram, across the face, a goal, and off the bar from Griezmann, but the rebound's in. Kingsley Coman smashes it home into the top left corner. He's not been on for long, but Bayern Munich's Coman scores the French side's 4th goal in the night and comes over to celebrate with Deschamps and the rest of the coaching staff and subs. It is France 4, Scotland 1, and all of a sudden it's a difficult old night in Lille.
When they want to step it up, they can, and we can't live with it. A great pass from Mbappe to Thuram, fired across the face of goal. Griezmann really should have scored himself, hits the bar, rebound comes out, and Coman makes no mistake with the rebounded shot high into the roof of the net. 4-1. I mean, it's been a fairly boring second half, but just they can, if you feel as though they can just flick a switch when they want to, Liam, they can just take it up a notch, and they did there.
It's just Coman's 6th international goal. It's his 53rd cap, and for such an attack-minded player to have only scored that number of goals for this fabulous French side is, I'm sure, disappointing for him, but he took that goal so well. Griezmann's effort came off the bar, and Coman was there to rifle it home. Less than 20 minutes to go. Scotland 3 behind against a French team that hasn't really started as they finished the first half in the second period. Long ball up towards Jacob Brown, who controls in the chest, and it comes off Klose and out for a throw-in to Scotland just beyond the midway point of the French half. But again, this is just another reminder, Tomo, that Scotland have still got a fair way to go if they're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with this standard of opposition.
Yeah, it's been 3 tough games in a row, the England game, the Spain game, and then this one. You are playing against one of the best teams in the world. You have to accept that we're not at that level, but you've got to learn from these 3 games and see what we can do to improve. Certainly I think our possession of the ball and higher up the pitch can be better. Defensively against Spain, I thought we defended well, limited them, but tonight obviously that's not been the case.
This is a better team than Spain though, isn't it?
Aye, there's no doubt about that. There's absolutely no doubt about that. It's just the speed, I think, the speed of England and the way they move the ball and the players, the speed off the ball. Same with France, it's very difficult to defend against.
You can see why those two are, I think, in some bookmakers are making them joint favourites to win Euro 2024 next year.
Not far away.
Gilmour with the free kick for Scotland. Suter does win the header, still alive. Ferguson in there. The referee was just waiting to blow the whistle there. He had his hand up to the whistle, which was in his lips, ready to blow as soon as he saw anything, and eventually he did, and he sounds the whistle to give the French a free kick inside their own box. It will remain then France 4, Scotland 1 on 72.
Didn't see a lot in that. Ball was kind of bouncing about in there, but you're right, it was as if the referee was just very quick and wanting to blow his whistle for a free kick, whether it was one or not.
Yeah, the other caveat to this is that Scotland, far from starting with their normal 11, it was vastly removed from that. 8 changes for this one tonight, whereas it's a French team that started with a starting 11 that could start a World Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, you take John McGinn, Andy Robertson, Kieran Tierney, Callum McGregor. Those 4 players, 4 of Scotland's best players, and you take that out of the team against anyone in the top tier of international football, it's going to be a toil. That's for sure.
Looks like there's going to be more subs coming on shortly. It is McKenna for Scotland, back to the edge of the box for Suter. Plays it back to Scott McKenna over on the far side. And Gilmour out to the left-hand touchline for Taylor, up the line McTominay. And back to Greg Taylor. It comes bouncing off Klose, it's still in play. Tchouaméni flicks it over his head to the angle of the box, but doesn't quite find Thuram. And it's with Taylor. Taylor looking for movement ahead of him. Just a little dink ball forward, which comes off a French boot. I think Coman got the last touch and out for a Scotland throw-in over on the far side. A couple of changes coming up for the French. They're going to bring Fofana, Youssouf Fofana on. There might be another one coming here as well. Don't see too many friendly internationals these days with the advent of the Nations League. As Patterson collects on this near side, there's an overlap from Hendry. Instead he uses him as the decoy, finds Jacob Brown on the edge of the box. He shoots and the goalkeeper dives low to his left to make the save and put it behind for the corner. Good effort from Jacob Brown.
It was a very good pass from Patterson into his feet. He holds it well, rolls the defender, spins 18 yards out. Don't know whether it was going on target or not, but the goalkeeper dives to his left and gets a finger to it. Better from us. A forward pass from Patterson, a pass that wasn't safe.
Gilmour comes out to take the corner. Outswinger with the right boot coming up. Scotland attacking the goal to the right and try and make the scoreline look a little bit more respectable. 4-1 down, 15 to play. And it comes from Gilmour. It's flicked away by Thuram, rifled high and wide by John Souttar, who was on his way down as well, I think. Fell to the wrong man. It stays France 4, Scotland 1. 75 on the clock.
It was a difficult chance regardless of who it fell to, but you're right, yeah, probably not his forte.
Changes for both. And Ryan Christie and Stuart Armstrong are coming on. Armstrong on for cap number 46, Christie for cap number 43. And the two French changes will be made as well. Youssouf Fofana of Monaco will replace Antoine Griezmann, who we'll see in the Champions League in Glasgow next week. And Tchouaméni is coming off and he's replaced by Boubacar Kamara of Aston Villa, who we saw up against Hibs in the Conference League qualifiers. The Scotland changes. Gilmour, who gave Scotland that early lead, capitalising on the error, comes off to be replaced by Armstrong, and Christie takes the place of Tomo's old pal Kenny McLean. We got a start tonight.
Yeah, delighted for Kenny. You know, he's often used off the bench by Steve Clarke coming on late in games. Had a massive impact obviously in the Norway game, and it's only right that he gets the chance to start a match. It's so difficult when you're a midfielder to breach into this side given the quality of the players that normally start. You know, normally first names in the team sheet, people like McGinn and McGregor, so it's so difficult to break into the team.
Thrown to France, out in this near side, Hernandez over it. He goes back the way to Konate. Squares it to Pavard, who scored 2 of the French goals this evening. Picked up here by the French in the midfield with Fofana. And back to the edge of his own box for the keeper Mignon, and then pass short to Kamara, out to Pavard at walking pace. Just that one moment of quality in the second half really from the French, and they got a goal from it. Just turned it on momentarily, and the French tricolour was displayed at all corners of this stadium. They don't come to play here often. This stadium hosted 6 games at Euro 2016. As Scotland pick up a free kick over on the far side. Taylor was tripped just beyond the midway point of his own half. And it's now with Ferguson. Short to McTominay, into Lewis Ferguson. Another proud night for Scott McTominay and his family. He's got the captain's armband this evening with Andy Robertson and John McGinn not involved from the start. Robertson leaving camp after picking up that shoulder injury in Spain last week. John McGinn is listed on the bench this evening. 12 to play, 4-1 to the French, displaying all their quality. And they'll be looking to make a serious impact at next summer's finals. They are always, it seems, the vast majority of the time, involved in the business end of big tournaments. And beaten finalists in Euro 2016, beaten by Portugal. Portugal team that didn't win one of their group matches, drew them all, went on to lift the trophy. In Paris, Suter's ball forwards, cut out too easily really, and it's clipped forward by Fofana, but it's kind of all the way through to Zander Clark, who gathers at the edge of his own box. Ferguson, short ball to Taylor wide in the left, decides to pass it back to McKenna, and now Suter. This is going to be the first time Scotland have lost 3 successive matches since early in the Clark era, when they were given some pretty bad beatings by Belgium and Russia in the meat of that.
First time we've come up against 3 teams of this quality in a row.
Totally. Well, Russia and Belgium were pretty good back then, to be fair.
Yeah, but not quite at this level with the 3 teams that.
But my point being,
yes,
that since then, 4 years ago, there haven't been runs of successive defeats. When they have hit a hole in the road, they've tended to dust themselves down and react in the best possible way. It comes all the way through to Mignon, who hasn't really had much to do tonight. The save from Jacob Brown a few minutes ago. He picked the ball out of his net when Gilmour scored, but it came via a loose ball in the French defence. It is Kamara, short to Camavinga. Pass forward by Pavard, lovely turn by Coman. Got a chance to play in Thuram, he's found him, Thuram's there! He smashes it off the bar! And it bounces away to safety. He did not look favourite to get onto that, but again, they've just got that little bit more. Whether that be pace or finishing ability, they just have that bit more. And that should really have been 5-1. Marcus Thuram smashing Zander Clark's crossbar.
Yeah, he catches it so sweetly, doesn't he? The pass into him is incredible. He shows the pace and the physicality to get there ahead of Suter. Catches it clean as a whistle off the face of the bar. Probably should have scored. If he mishits it, probably goes in. Caught it probably too sweet.
And in the final 10 here, in fact, just moving into the final 9. Very nearly 5-1. Here's Coman. He's looked better than Dembele, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Who he replaced. Here's Theo Hernandez on this near side. In field it comes to Kamara. Short ball forward to Camavinga. On the turn, finds Mbappe at the edge of the box. He'll want it back, but he gives it to Thuram, who turns the other way. Little short ball out to the right hand side for Fofana. In comes the cross. Headed clear. Still a chance here. Fofana chipping it forward, but reacting well was Armstrong, but he's lost out to Coman, who has a look at the goal and shoots, and Clark holds on. And it stays France 4, Scotland 1, with 8 of the 90 to play. It's a game right now that can't end quickly enough for Steve Clark.
Yeah, it's all France. That one you'd expect. Zander Clark to make the save. The shot from 23 yards out wasn't really hit with that much pace. He holds on to it well, but yeah, I mean, you're right, it's been a tough evening. Only the 1 goal conceded in this second half so far, thankfully. You just feel when France want to, they just up at a wee level. Scotland unable to really test, apart from that Brown shot. France defensively.
It's back with Mignon, short ball to Pavard. Finished 3-1 England. They've qualified for Euro 2024. 2 from Kane, 1 from Rashford against the Italians. There's a chance for Christie to pass it through. Breaks back to Ferguson, who rifles a shot at goal from 25 yards out. It goes well wide, low, past the left-hand post, and stays 4-1 to the French.
Right to take the shot on. Fell nicely for him. Just dragged it a wee bit, hit it into the ground and wide of the post. One of our rare glimpses of goal.
I was having a look at the potential pots for Euro 2024, Stephen, the draw made in Hamburg at the start of December. And Scotland currently sitting in a pot 2 position, but there's an argument to say pot 3 would be better, because there's actually some bigger fish, shall we say, swimming in pot 2 right now. So if you're in that, you avoid them. But that's for another day. And that'll be a very exciting day, won't it, when the draw's made?
Brilliant, yeah. Regardless of who we get, we're going to be facing top teams, you know that. you want a wee bit of a kind draw, but you're going to have to play against good teams to be able to get out the group.
The thing is, for Scotland, it's about qualifying for these tournaments. For France, it's about winning these tournaments.
Slightly different pressure for
the
them.
ambitions are different.
Yeah. For us to get out the group would be a massive step forward.
Never done it before, so exactly, that really would be a step in the right direction. And plenty of those in the last few years. It is with Konate. Ball passed forward, it's a right foot pass from Kamara's cut out though, and it's with Ferguson. Squares it right to the centre circle for Hendry and out to Patterson. First time into the feet of McTominay at the edge of the France box. Wide right for Christie. Right foot chip ball comes in. This is a chance. His shot saved. It was Armstrong's effort. Saved by the feet of Mignon as he met it first time. Might break back Armstrong's way. Looks up at the goal. Little back heel. Ferguson rolls it to Taylor. Left hand side of the box. Delicate cross. A good one. The header from Brown is saved by Mignon. Been forced into action twice. I actually think there's someone in behind Brown who might have been the better option there, but if you're a striker and you've got a chance for a header and goal, you're going to take that opportunity. But it stays France 4, Scotland 1 on 85.
Yeah, it was a tame header from Brown, wasn't it? Two really good crosses. The first one from Christie to the back post. Armstrong goes with a side foot. Probably should have put his laces through it. It's a reasonable save from the goalkeeper. The second cross coming in from Greg Taylor to Jacob Brown, and the header was really tame.
France on the ball. Pavard rolling it to the right hand side for Klose. And as Pavard square to Konate. Konate just stepping away from Ryan Christie. Rolling it infield. First time back by Fofana. Picked up by Kamara. Camavinga's pass wasn't great for Hernandez, who's then fouled by Christie. And France have a free kick down on this near side. It's a sore one for Theo Hernandez, who's looking around for the offender, and it was Christie. And it's going to be a double change for the French now, and Mbappe's night's over. He scored the third of the 4, and he's going to be replaced by Randall Kolo Muani, who started the game in the Netherlands last week. Mbappe off. Kolo Muani will come on, and the other change, we'll see Castello Lukebi come on for Konate as Deschamps throws another couple of caps at a couple of fringe players. RB Leipzig's Lukeba comes on. He's only 20. This is his debut. A big moment for him. And Kolo Muani, who we saw burst onto the scene at the World Cup last year, Paris Saint-Germain player, having left Eintracht Frankfurt in the summer. He comes on to lead the line. So the game beginning to peter out a little bit here. It's been utterly dominant from the French. It's Pavard who's got the captain's armband now. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Out to this near side for Hernandez. And then rolled back to the goalkeeper by Lukeba. Final thoughts from you, Stephen. Stephen's got to go away and perform different duties now in the next couple of minutes. Going down to do the interviews.
Indeed, yes. It's been a difficult night, as expected, for Scotland. France, obviously, a level above us. At times, they've kind of played at walking pace, and then when they want to turn it on, they do, and we've not really lived with it. I think defensively, we've not been as good as we have been in previous games. A very changed side as well.
That has to come into it.
Yeah, it does. But there's no disgrace in losing to France. Absolutely none whatsoever. And as we said at the start, you know, what matters is that we're going to the Euros. This is a learning experience for us.
Thanks, Stephen. He's off to get the post-match reaction from Stevie Clark and a player or two as well. We'll hear that on Sports Sound once this game finishes up. We'll go to Willie and Craig should there be anything dramatic happen between now and the final whistle. Unlikely, I would suggest, as McTominay is fouled on the halfway line. And Scotland are going to bring John McGinn on for the last few minutes here. He replaces Nathan Patterson. So John McGinn on for cap number 60. As he continues to make inroads on the all-time appearance list. Looking to make inroads on the goal scorer list as well. He's one behind Kenny Miller at the moment, two behind Ali McCoist. You suspect he will get above both of those at some point, as Ferguson picks up and rolls it wide left. Over there for Armstrong, back into his own half for Taylor. He goes back to McKenna as we move towards the 90th minute of the game here in Lille. Suter, long pinged ball to Armstrong wide on the left hand side, rolls it to McGinn. McGinn brought to the ground by Pavard, but the referee's okay with it. He was giving free kicks away for fun, or giving free kicks for fun in the first half, and then McGinn and Pavard clash in the middle of the park. You see Boubacar Kamara coming over there, his clubmate, John McGinn's teammate at Aston Villa. So he just knocks the ball to his right to allow the free kick to be taken. See how much stoppage time will be added on at the end of this one. Closing stages here, the Scotland fans still in good voice. Way off to the right, arms outstretched. What a wonderful trip this has been for those who have come to France for this game. The result obviously not, but many of them were in the hostelries as 2 minutes are confirmed as being added on at the end here on Sunday evening, trying their best to watch that Norway-Spain game, as the locals in turn tried to watch their rugby team take on the Springboks and losing dramatically. And a lot of sad faces amongst the French rugby fans here on Sunday evening. The Scotland fans were having a party, and there'll be more next month for those going to Tbilisi, and particularly for that match against the Norwegians at Hampden. Jack Henry, those giving it away, and the French could be in for another one here right at the death, and Zander Clark makes the save. Still alive as Kolomoani was in there. There's still a chance. Flag's gone up eventually against Kolomoani. It was a brilliant run from Thuram down this left hand side, and Scotland delighted to get away with that one, and delighted as well that only 2 minutes have been added on at the end of the game here in stoppage time, and it remains France 4, Scotland 1. It's been somewhat bruising for the Scotland players, and since the victory in Cyprus last month, I mean, out of the 4 matches that have been played in these 2 international windows, the important one was Cyprus, and they dispatched them extremely comfortably. And then came the 3 against the top tier international teams, and really there is an argument there to say that France are the best team in the world. Yes, they lost the World Cup final to Argentina last year, and they've been in plenty of the major finals in recent times, 2016, 2018. They were disappointed in Euro 2020 not to go further than they did. And they were back in the final in Qatar last year, eventually beaten on penalties by the Argentinians. So it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side to the French, but it's the final few seconds here. We played the 2 minutes, and the referee sounds the full-time whistle. Victory for the French as the fans wave the tricolour all around the stadium here in Lille. Bit of a homecoming for them. They don't come to the northeast of the country to play terribly often. In the Stade de France out of commission for the rugby. The locals here had an opportunity to worship their heroes, and it was a super performance for half an hour in the first half. Scotland simply couldn't live with them, having taken the lead through Billy Gilmour. And a really good finish, his first ever goal in professional football, and he took the opportunity. He was passed by a Frenchman out to Gilmour. He caught it first time and bent it round Mignon to give Scotland the lead, but it probably just annoyed the French, and they weren't too long after that going through the gears, and to really good effect. Benjamin Pavard with 2 goals, both headers, the first from a Griezmann corner, the second from an Mbappe cross after he spun away from Henry, drove down the left hand side of the area and put it across for Pavard, who nodded home his second to put France 2-1 up. And then an Mbappe penalty 4 minutes from half time. It was awarded after a VAR check. It was Giroud who was brought down by Liam Cooper. The ref eventually, after coming over to review it, gave the penalty. Mbappe dispatched it 3-1 at the break. And there were other opportunities as well. In the second, Kingsley Coman, with around about 20 minutes to play, thundered the ball home after Griezmann hit the bar. Coman hit it first time on the volley, smashing it into the top left corner. Thuram hit the bar later on as well. And Scotland survived with a 3-goal deficit in the end here in Lille. One of the toughest challenges in international football right now is France away. So it's not an unexpected result. This is a team that will be going far at Euro 2024 next summer, as Scotland will be hoping to do likewise and try and get through their group. Testing matches. Steve Clarke wanted them. He wants them to be able to go toe-to-toe with these kind of teams. The standard of opposition, it's still, though, a bridge too far. But it has been a quite wonderful week to be a Scotland fan as they celebrate qualification to back-to-back European Championship finals. That's what it was all about. But the result here in Lille this evening was France 4, Scotland 1.
Scotland, live on Sports Sound.
Wonderful goal for Scotland.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Well, it was always going to be a tough evening, and so it proved. Scotland did take an early lead, and they did